Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. And today I'd like to take a look at Irving Berlin's Blue Skies, an early song from 1923. It has like contradiction baked into it. This upbeat lyric, Blue Skies shining on me, and the lament bass, one of the oldest, saddest sort of chord progression basses you can use. The the conflict between those two makes this a great song. I've said this before. The American Songbook is a excellent way to learn functional harmony. So, especially a songwriter like Irving Berlin, who looks kind of backwards to European harmony. These composers from the 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe even into the 50s, were steeped in European classical traditions, the behaviors of chords and things like that. And Blue Skies uses one of the oldest, saddest bass lines possible. It's called the lament bass. And you may have heard me talk about it before. The bass line descends chromatically. It's almost like a thumb line. I went, but listen to the lyrics. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Listen, you may not know the song, so let me just play through it. You probably noticed in the bridge, in the middle section, there's another clever minor trick. Let's just kind of break this down. We'll go through it sort of phrase by phrase. So here's the initial melody. And it's pentatonic, right? It's pentatonic major in F. But it's harmonized with D minor over C sharp, which you can think of in a number of ways. Maybe A augmented, D minor 7, or D minor over C, and then D minor 6 or G7 over B. They're a lot of the same notes, right? And then only at the end of those four measures do we kind of release into what feels like the major sound. So we get a one chord F to the 5 and then back to 1. But that doesn't last very long. In fact, after that one chord F, we're going to turn it around and go home to our sad minor landscape. I love the contradiction, the conflict. It's almost like there's a sense of paradox or irony, and great art very often has elements of contradiction in it. When I'm playing something like this, I like to kind of emphasize that bass line. So we really hear it. I sort of sustain with the bottom finger, or I could sustain with the middle finger as well if I had a bass player. And we hear that line that way. So the second half of the verse is pretty much identical, different lyrics, bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long, except that it's minor. And I'm going to bail out back to F by using the minor 4/6. So I've sometimes called this the Christmas chord. If I'm in F, which is where that section ends, the 4 chord in F is B flat, and we'd expect it to be B flat major. And in this song, there is never, ever, ever, no, there's no 4 chord that's major. They're all minor. So we get this sound. 1, 4, 6, 1. Isn't that a beautiful and sort of haunting and aching sound? Well, we're using the minor 4 chord in pop music these days quite a bit, so it's not that surprising, right? You think about Olivia Rodrigo's Vampire or Creep, they all sort of progress to the minor 4 chord. So what Irving Berlin does here in 1923 is he goes 1 chord, I Never Saw the Sun, that's right up the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, flat 6. When you get to that flat 6 note, which is the minor third of B flat minor 6, it's so poignant. You can see it here. There's a flat written on the D. About that 4 measure section, which I think we should identify melodically. The climb, the minor third, and we keep winding our way down. Do you hear that? It's a sequence, and it follows the central tones of the sequence, follows a diminished chord off that minor third of the 4 chord. It makes it really sad. So sad. So sad. And yet the lyrics, never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. And the music is saying something completely different. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my, how they fly. All right, we've resolved to the note F, but it's the raised 5 of A7, A augmented, and we're back to where we started. Irving Berlin wrote hundreds of songs, and I'm grateful to him for a number of things, not the least of which is being a founding member and sort of the initiator of ASCAP, the American Society of Composers and Publishers. And if you're not a member of a performing rights organization like BMI or CSAC, I guess in Europe, or ASCAP, I'm an ASCAP member. Think about it. If you're making music, publishing music, if your music appears in broadcast like television or films that go to TV or streaming, you can make money that way. I've got a couple of pieces in an HBO documentary right now, and ASCAP tracks that kind of thing and sends me a check quarterly. It's good for us, right? So Irving Berlin, a kind of a businessman, heck of a pianist. He rather famously could only play in D flat major, and he had a piano built so that he could just shift the keyboard around, the first real mechanically transposing keyboard. Great songwriter, great lyricist, and this is an example of elevated artistry in greatness, because the paradox of the lament bass, like something that Purcell would have used in Dido and Aeneas, right? Exactly the same bass line. Against the upbeat, cheery, almost in denial kind of lyrics, makes this a great song. A great song, really. And I gotta say, it's not one that I really have have played that much in my life. I kind of like rediscovered it recently, and I'm so glad I have Blue Skies by Irving Berlin. Well, listen, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe, ding the bell, you'll be notified when I do my videos, and I will see you next time.